What's up? Hold on 1 second. Let me get this rocking. All right. What's up, everybody? Let's finish my showdown lineups are done for the earlier slate. Couple things I'll talk about really quick. I'm not going to jump into it really too much since it's so close. Stack up the Steelers. Don't even overthink it. Don't overthink it. What I've been doing with the first game is that I'm taking a stand and I'm going to fucking fade Antonio Gibson. I do know that there is a lot of salary to eat on the 2-game slate. And I think a lot of people are going to roll with Antonio Gibson. I get it. The volume is there, but guys, the matchup is fucking atrocious. I mean, I could see 18 carries for 60 yards. I mean, cool. I mean, that's fine for cash, I guess, but I'm not going to do it. In my 2-game slate, I really just went with Raheem Mostert, which we're going to talk about, and I took a shot at a few, on Zach Moss and Singletary. I know not the greatest matchups for either of them, but they're super cheap, and I'm willing to go that route instead of, playing someone who's in a fucking awful situation. But that's just me. But yeah, so Steelers, Deontay Johnson, Juju Schuster, Claypool. If I had to put them in order, I like Juju's matchup the best, but Deontay's getting the heavy volume. So Deontay is definitely the safer wide receiver. Then I would probably go Juju, and then I would go Claypool. I think some people are talking shit about Ebron. I don't know why. He's got, 7+ targets the last 3 games, 13 targets last game. Yeah, the matchup isn't the greatest. I get it, but we're talking about a tight end on a 2-game slate, but all tight ends are fucking poop. So I like Ebron a lot. I think he's perfect for GPPs, even in showdowns. I wouldn't fade him. Again, I am firmly just putting my foot down and thinking Pittsburgh's going to slap the shit out of Washington. I just don't see an edge. Otherwise, if I were going to pick a Washington player, I'd probably just go with McLaurin. His matchup really isn't that bad, and he's going to get guaranteed volume no matter what. You could look 6 to 7 targets, 6 catches, 80 yards. Sure. I mean, I really wouldn't be surprised. But I don't know. I just think Washington's about to get smacked. And I think we're going to see a low-scoring game. But that's just me. So I don't really want to talk about it anymore. Play as you will. I will say I have a ton of wide receivers from Steelers, and that should not be some surprise. I'm just working new combinations. So, for example, as I explained in chat today, I would run Deontay, Juju, Big Ben, Juju, Claypool, Big Ben, just different combos, different combinations. Find the one that fucking hits. One of them's going to hit, and you're going to be good. I think Ebron is definitely a guy that I would kind of rotate around with those combos as well. Again, the 2-game slate, there really isn't too many tight ends to love. I think Ebron and Reed would be my top 2 options as tight end. I will not play Knox. I will not play anyone from the Buffalo Bills tight end. Fuck that. And I guess Logan Thomas is fine, but again, he's going to get smacked up today too. So my top 2 options for tight end would be Reed and who did I fucking say? Ebron. So anyways, Milano's back for the Bills. Huh? You know what I mean? I think Reed's fine though. I mean, he's 3,200. We're talking about a guy who's getting 6 to 7 targets. He's getting fed. He's getting some work. But I think on a 2-game slate with not the greatest tight end options, you really can't get too picky. I think that's why I'm totally fine with Jordan Reed. But yeah, I like Jordan Reed a lot. I think for the 2-game slate, I'm telling you, I'm just rotated Jordan Reed and I rotated out Ebron. I just went through that. That's what I did. If one of those other tight ends scored a touchdown, fuck. But I just don't see it. But anyways, so we're going to talk about the Niner game tonight. I believe the Niners are playing Arizona. Am I wrong? I didn't really double check where they were playing. As you know, the fellow person that lives in California, we are now on lockdown number 2. That is because many different reasons. I mean, I really don't want to get political in here because there's plenty of people to blame, including our governor, Gavin Newsom. It's the bill. Yeah, for sure. We're going to talk about it right now. Because our governor, Gavin Newsom, is out there preaching that, you need to wear a mask, you need to walk, 6 feet apart, all this bull fucking shit. which I get. I'm totally for that. I'm not anti-masker. I think it's super important to walk around with the mask. I think it's super important, especially having family members who have had cancer. And, I have a couple family members who has diabetes, and they're easier to get it. But then you have your governor who was caught fucking eating at a dinner with no mask. Like, dude, fuck you. It's just stupid. Like, if you're going to preach something, you should do the same thing, right? You should wear a mask and not participate in these dinners and not do these things. But instead, you did it, and now you're fucked. Now you're probably going to lose your job over it. I mean, let's be real. But anyways, so with this being said, California is now back on lockdown. And in Santa Clara, where the Niners play, they are not allowed to play there for 3 weeks. So now their home games will be moved to a different place. And so technically, their home games are away games, which sucks for Niner fans and Niner teams because now they're losing home games. So tonight, the Bills play the Niners. Right now, the over-under, it's about in the 45, 46. Right now, the Bills are actually underdogs, which I was really shocked because, when I was doing my research, I'm kind of weird about how I build things. I kind of went off gut rather than just what Vegas is telling me. And my gut was like, wow, the Niners could really surprise people today. I just really like their matchups. I really think they could come out and, put some work in. And then I looked at the over-under and I saw the buddy just like, you think they're going to be surprised? They're favorites. I'm like, holy shit. The Bills went from like minus 3.5 to now Niners are -1. That's a huge flip. That's kind of interesting. But I think there's plays on both sides that we could definitely make some money off of. So we're going to get down to business. So, like I really have been doing, I've just been trying to break down, instead of going team by team, position by position that way, I just want to go position by position and understand that my thoughts and my theories, if you may not agree with the 100% I have to say, but this is how I'm looking at things. This is based off numbers, matchups, what I'm seeing from watching. I literally watch every single game on Sundays, every single game on Monday. I watch all the games. I haven't missed one. So I'm kind of seeing some stuff happening. So let's jump into it. So the first position I must talk about is running backs. Let's talk about the Niners first. So right now the Bills are ranked 22nd in DVOA, 25th in yards per carry. And as my boy James can definitely tell me too, the Bills can get ran on. You can run on the Bills. And for a team like the 49ers, who are really a run-first team, in my opinion, they're probably just going to do just that. And good news for them, they get their best running back, and he's back. And Raheem Mostert, he came back last week, played 40% of the snaps. Not a lot. Didn't expect him to get full amount of work. But he played 40% of the snaps, and he had 18 carries. That's a lot of fucking carries for not playing that much, right? I think they were just trying to ease him back in. I think they were just trying to make sure he's good. I get it. He's very injury prone. He's been hurt like twice this year for a couple weeks. I would know because he sunk my fantasy football team. I mean, he sunk them. I mean, straight up. But tonight, I love Raheem. He's expensive, 9.6, but that's a typical price tag for a starting running back, guys. And I like Raheem a lot. I think they're going to really use him. I think we're going to see 20-plus carries from him. I think that snap rate will definitely go up. 40%, let's just say, goes up to 60%. So we're looking 60%, 20 carries, and we're probably going to get 4 to 5 targets. I mean, what is there not to like about Raheem Mostert? I love that man today. I will have quite a bit. In my 2-game slate, I pretty much just locked him in 100%. That's just what I did. I love him today. I think I'm going to have damn near 60% in showdowns, and I know that's crazy, and I know that's nuts, especially injury-prone wide, running back, but he's the best I see. I like Raheem a lot. Okay. Jared McKinnon, 1,400. I never really liked Jared McKinnon. He's very, very cheap. He's going to get some work. He always gets work. I mean, we might look at 5 carries, a couple catches, which is perfect for someone so cheap. If the Niners do fall behind, or if they're going back and forth or anything like that, Jared McKinnon can easily beat that value. So that price tag of 1,400, again, he's not the sexiest option. He's not the sexiest play. I think he's even fine for cash. But I could see in GPPs why you would fade him. He doesn't offer a huge amount of upside with Mostert back. So I think he's fine for cash. I think I would rock with him in cash. I think in GPPs, I would maybe look elsewhere. I just really have not seen these really punty players really just reach that upside that you need in GPPs. It's almost like these big tournament takedowns are players who are, priced up for a good reason. So McKinnon and cash is fine. And in GPPs, I think if you're playing multiple lineups, it's always a possibility that Mostert gets hurt again or whatever the case may be, and McKinnon is the guy. So I would go tournaments only. If you're playing multiple lineups, cash again, fine. You can definitely rock with it in cash. Jeff Wilson, another guy that's going to get some work today. Last week he had 35% of the snaps, had 12 carries. It seems like he is the running back 2 now. McKinnon is kind of just on the outside. Do I expect 35% of the snaps? I honestly see it dropping. But again, he's another safe running back that you could assume that he's going to get some work. But again, even on the 35% of the snaps, he had 12 carries. I just don't see the carries being that high today. But I would say I like him more than I like McKinnon. I think he has a safer for it almost. I don't know. It's tough decision. Actually, I'll take that back. I think McKinnon in cash, and I go Jeff Wilson in GPPs. I probably will not have any Jeff Wilson. I probably will try to stay away from McKinnon as a whole, but if I need to, I'll probably go there in cash. So again, Niner running back situation is Mostert. Raheem, gotta love the man. Gotta love Raheem today, guys. Don't even overthink it. Don't overthink it. Definitely gonna get a touchdown today. Definitely gonna get some targets. Definitely gonna get work. I love Raheem today. And then obviously McKinnon and Jeff Wilson. McKinnon and cash is great. Jeff Wilson and GPP is cool. All right. Let's talk about the Bills running back situation. The Bills running back situation is kind of a shit show. Both running backs are getting work. They're both playing around. So that's Zach Moss and Devin Singletary. But we'll just talk about it. Hold on. Talk about Zach Moss first, 6,600. He has outsnapped Singletary the last 4 games. He's outsnapped him. But he's not getting the same amount of work that Singletary is getting and a less amount of snaps. So just because Zach Moss is getting more snaps, they're not using him if Singletary's on the field. So for example, the last 4 games, Zach Moss has 39 carries and 17 targets. I mean, that's pretty good, right? And then you have Devin Singletary, last 4 games, 39 carries, 10 targets. And he's cheaper. So they're kind of getting like the same work. I just like Singletary more. I think he offers a higher upside. We've seen some 100-yard rushing yard game from him. Last week, he had 11 carries for like 80 yards. I mean, that's pretty freaking good for 11 carries. So I think a lot of people are just going to go Zach Moss because they're worried about the situation. But I think I like Devin Singletary more, especially since he's a couple $100 cheaper. But I think I would probably go Singletary more. I just trust him more. And he's cheaper. But again, the running backs for the Bills are super tough to predict, especially in a game where they are road dogs. So kind of like, flip a coin and rotate them out pretty much. Like one lineup had Singletary, one lineup had Moss, one of them might hit, and then another lineup just fade the running backs. I think that's what the important thing to do in this game today, especially with these teams that just have so many running backs and so many uncertainties and who's getting the snap percentage, whatever. But I can easily just tell you that the safest running back in this game, in my opinion, is Raheem Mostert. I just think he's the main guy. He's going to continue to get heavy volume, and he's a full week back. I just think that's the guy I would go after. As for the Bills, my gut's saying Devin Singletary, but I can see myself rotating both out. So running back situation for both is kind of shitty. All right, let's talk about wide receivers. Talk about the Bills wide receivers first. 49ers pass D is 14th in DVOA and 4th in yards per pass. Pretty good. They got Sherman back. I know people are like, Sherman's so washed up. I think he's still one of the most smartest corners in the game. The dude knows how to handle business. He knows plays. He knows how to handle the routes correctly. He knows how to do this shit. Sherman, just because he's older and he's a little bit injury prone, doesn't mean he's not a good corner. So remember that. But anyways, Bills, John Brown, Done. IR. Don't need to talk about him. Don't need to worry about him. Just an off year for John Brown. We know how dope he is. We know how good he is. Just not his year. Not his year at all. But that doesn't help us today. To even talk about it anymore. We're going to move on. So the first wide receiver I'll talk about is the dog himself, the alpha, the GOAT, the guy that's been running out middle fingers to Minnesota, even though Minnesota's got Justin Jefferson, doesn't care. Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs is 10,800. So far this year, he's averaged 10 plus fantasy points every single game. He scored 10 plus fantasy points. That's nuts. Pretty fucking nuts. But that lets you know that Josh Allen trusts him more than anything. He'll throw to him no matter who's guarding him. He'll throw to him no matter the situation. He's going to Stephon Diggs. So, as I don't love the matchup, the thing to remember, Richard Sherman doesn't follow. He stays in a certain part of the field. That's just the type of corner he is. Now, the Bills will move Diggs around, so it's not like he's going to be on Sherman or Sherman's going to be on him all day. So if you look at the matchup thing and you're looking at it and you're going, well, this is not that great, just remember that Diggs doesn't stay on one side. He is moved around constantly. So with that being said, Diggs at that price, still considered one of the safest, highest ceiling players in this game is Stephon Diggs. If you're playing the two-gamer, I want Diggs over McLaurin. That's what it is. I get that McLaurin's matchup isn't awful, but I think Diggs will have an easier time to get there. So I love Diggs, and even in tonight's showdown, I think you gotta have him. If you see this game going back and forth, Diggs has got to be a main problem for the Niners, and he has to be the main guy for this to stay a competitive game. So love Stephon Diggs. Love him. The next wide receiver, Cole Beasley, 6,800. My guys, Cole Beasley's going to score today. He's going to score a touchdown today. His matchup is actually really freaking good. So far this year, he's had 300-yard games. But the interesting thing is that 2 of those 100-yard games came when Diggs was having a down game. So take it for what it's worth. What that tells me is I'm not going to play Cole Beasley and Diggs together. Because if Beasley's going to have a dope-ass game, that probably means that Diggs is getting worked, right? Double team, not released, not getting away, not doing what he needs to do. So Josh Allen starts leaning on Cole Beasley, and that's why that little stat comes in, out of the 2 to 3 games, Cole Beasley's gone nuts. Diggs has been average. Do I still think Diggs will get 10-plus points? Absolutely, guys. I don't think the trend's going to stop. But if you're looking for that ceiling game, that GPP tournament upside, I think you got to make the decision. Do I want to play Cole Beasley or do I want to play Diggs? Obviously, a lot of people are going to go Diggs. I don't blame them. But Cole Beasley could be that tournament upside that you need that you're going to win all the money tonight. So I really like Diggs, and I love Cole Beasley as well. I think those are the 2 main guys I'll be really focusing on the Bills. The safest volume, right? So the next guy is Gabriel Davis. I've been hearing a lot of chatter about him. I don't really know why. I get it. He's still kind of expensive for the showdown. He's 5,800. Yes, since John Brown has gone down, he's played just about every snap on the field. I get it. He's on the field. Out of the 3 games, he's gotten about 16 targets. He got 9 targets the first game. Brown is out. 3 the second, 4 the third, right? But you see the decline? It's just like Josh Allen is really not looking at him. He's not targeting him. He's not looking at Davis. So with that being said, do I trust Davis in cash? Fuck no. Don't do that. If you are sending head-to-head because I like taking money. But does he offer tournament ceiling? Sure. Sure he does. Do I think it happens today? I'm going to lean no. So with that being said, like the 2 main wide receivers I really just be looking at is Cole Beasley and Diggs. Do what I talked about with the Pittsburgh wide receivers, right? Rotate them out. You could try to run a lineup with Diggs and Cole Beasley. There's always a possibility that they both end up in the optimal. But then I would probably, build a few more lineups with one of each. One Diggs here, no Cole Beasley. One Cole Beasley here, no Diggs. Does that make sense? So kind of like what you need to do. When you're building these MME, a lot of people are doing hand building now, which is just fine for me. I kind of like hand building. I think optimizers are fine. A lot of people will run 150. I really don't do that anymore. And I like to do the hand building because I can see it clear. That's just the type of learner I am. I know I'm weird. Or if you're using Fantasy Cruncher is one of the best, right? You can definitely just make a rule that says, one Diggs, one Cole Beasley, and let them run the rest for you. But that's kind of like how I'll be looking at the wide receiver situation. McKenzie on the Bills. I see him in lineups every showdown. He does get a few carries here and there. I don't know, but he's not getting a lot of work. So, he's very just low ceiling, low floor type of, I just wouldn't do it. I will probably not have any McKenzie. And if he scores, fuck, but I don't even think if he scores in this game that he'll end up being optimal. I can see him scoring I don't know, guys, going 2 catches for 4 yards in a tub. That's not optimal to me. I think it's fine for excitement-wise, but I don't see myself going that way. So, again, wide receivers, Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley, all formats, cash too, totally fine. And then Davis, I would strictly just lean on tournaments only. So, yeah. All right. Talk about the Niners. I like the Niners a lot. I do. It's weird because I'm a Raider fan and I despise the 49ers, but I think tonight they could upset. Don't hate me, James. Okay. So the Bills pass D is 15th in DVOA, 18th in yards per pass. It's weird how they really haven't been that great. They've been burned pretty bad. It's weird. It's just because I think Josh Allen is just keeping that team alive, right? They're just one of the best offenses in the league. I hate to say it, but they are. So I think tonight the 49ers could find some ways to make tonight a high-scoring game. All right, so the first wide receiver I'll talk about is Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel, 8,800. If you think I like Cole Beasley, I love Deebo Samuel tonight. I love him. I think he has the best matchup in this game, wide receiver-wise. He is expensive. I get it. But, guys, he is the wide receiver one. Brandon Ayuk is back. I get it. But, guys, Deebo Samuel is the wide receiver one. We're looking at Deebo Samuel. I would be highly shocked if he got less than 6 targets. I would be highly shocked if he got less than 80 yards. I would highly be shocked if he doesn't score today. I love Deebo Samuel. I will probably just lock him in. I probably will. Probably mix and match captain here, flex there, but I'll probably just be straight up 100% Deebo Samuel. Love Deebo today. And I think he should do plenty of work against his defense, who has been giving up plenty of work to wide receivers. So, yeah, love Deebo Samuel. The second wide receiver talk about is Brandon Ayuk. I do like him as well. I think he's fine. 72 or he's 7K. If you can't get the Deebo for some reason, I think Ayuk is perfectly fine. I think he offers the same gameplay almost. But again, I just prefer Deebo's ceiling. But I think Ayuk could easily get to work today. I love both of them. I think they're both amazing plays. Let's just say that. I like both. I will have plenty of both. And since I'm playing both, that means I'm probably going to have plenty of Nick Mullins, who I don't hate either. But yeah. The next wide receiver I'll talk about is Kendrick Bourne with Deebo back. Brandon Ayuk ready to go. Bourne being very inconsistent. 5,400. I would lean tournaments only. I will probably have 0. I would not touch him in cash. I just can't do it. I can't go Bourne. If you're playing a lot of lineups, sure, have some exposure. Why not? You should. If you're playing 20 or less, honestly, I'm leaning none. That's just me. But maybe 5%. But yeah, Kendrick Bourne, tournament only. Wouldn't touch him anywhere else. And then the last wide receiver is Richie James. He's a dart throw with huge upside. So if you're looking for a value play that's going to help you fill out your lineup, it's either going to be Richie James or you're going to have to punt it with some tight end number 2. I would go Richie James. I think he offers the highest ceiling out of the punts. So In tournaments, I would definitely go Richie James in that type of situation. Very risky, very risky. But it doesn't take too much for him to hit that value, especially like one deep throw, boom, you know what Richie James to do. We saw it. So Richie James tournament only. Honestly, I like him more than Kendrick Bourne. I don't like Kendrick Bourne today. I just don't. So wide receiver wise, Debo, love. Brandon, love it. I would go Richie James, and I'm probably going to fade Kendrick Bourne. That's what I'm going to do. All right. Talk about the tight ends. Jordan Reed. Love Jordan Reed. I'm telling you guys, you're getting a little thing I'm feeling today. I feel like the Niners are going to upset. I like Jordan Reed. The Bills struggle against tight ends. Jordan Reed is fucking cheap, 5K. He's not playing a lot of snaps, but he's running a lot of routes. That's all that matters. If he's on the field 40% of the time, but running 12-plus routes, I can't complain that. I cannot complain. I think Jordan Reed is perfectly fine at his price at 5K too. I would definitely have exposure. Absolutely. Had plenty of exposure in the two-gamer. I definitely will have exposure in the Showdown. Love Jordan Reed today. And that's why I'm kind of off Kendrick Bourne, because I think they're going to be looking for Reed, Debo, and Brandon Ayuk the most, and Kendrick Bourne will kind of just be chilling. So I really like Jordan Reed. If you wanted to get a little sneakier, you can go with Ross Dwelly. He's an MME punt. He's played more snaps but running less routes. He's on the field more. It is what it is. Obviously not an attractive play. I would definitely try to go Jordan Reed, but if you're trying to get off the Jordan Reed train in a few lineups, I think Ross Dwelly is a perfect pivot. So, yeah. As for the Bills tight end, guys, I just want you to implant in your brain that the Bills tight ends are just not a thing, right? We have Knox, who's getting about 3 targets or so a game, sometimes 1. And he has 1 touchdown all season. There's no upside here. There's none. Not even at his price. I won't have any. And then same thing for Lee Smith. He's just a blocker. He ain't going to do enough. He's not going to do anything, right? So for me personally, I'm going to stay away from the Bills tight ends. Won't even think about it. But if you wanted to play a tight end in this game, I think Jordan Reed is the man, and I think Ross Dwelly is the perfect pivot. That's kind of how I'd be looking at that situation. All right. Now let's talk about cash. My cash pool is just going to be repeating every stream. Both QBs, kickers, Debo, Josh Allen, Mostert, Diggs, Ayuk, Reed. I think Reed is fine in cash. Cole Beasley. I think you can play all those guys in cash. The guys that definitely weren't playing cash were the ones I mentioned earlier. For example, Davis, Bourne. Who else did I mention? I probably wouldn't even touch the running backs from the Bills. I don't trust them. Yeah, I think you just got to stick with the safe, right? That's what cash games are all about. And then for GPP, same guys pretty much, but I think you can start getting funky with your captain picks. So, for example, Cole Beasley might be an under-owned captain. He offers tremendous upside. He's had 300-yard games. I think that Brandon Ayuk could be a sneaky captain play too. Everyone will go Debo. You just go Brandon, switch it up. I think Debo is an excellent captain play. Mostert, obviously Diggs. It's just, I think in GPPs is just more of the correlation that's going to get you the dub. Thinking about the game script, if you see this game being a shit show for the Bills, maybe have some Niners defense, which I don't hate at all. I don't think the Niners defense is awful today at all. I think it's very sneaky. I don't really love playing defenses in cash. I wouldn't do that, but I think in tournaments are totally fine. You can totally do it. But yeah, so that's kind of how I'm looking at today. I really like this game. And it's going to be so weird because I'm going to be a Niner fan, and I love Josh Allen. He's on my fantasy team. But I think the Niners can upset today, even though I know they're -1, which still doesn't make sense to me. They should be dogs. They should be, but they're not. So, yeah. So kind of how I'm looking at today. If you have any questions, never hesitate to reach out. My Twitter is Vigo07. Hit me up on Twitter, or you can hit me at DFS headquarters at twitter.com. I will be posting more information in Slack, answering questions. Don't ever hesitate to retweet me either. Definitely down to talk football with anybody. Other than that, hope you guys make some fucking money today. Let's make some dough. And time to watch the Steeler game.